Alright, so with the interior nice and clean, I'm looking forward to finally getting down to finishing the teardown on this. Now that we test drove it and we know that it drives pretty straight, we know that we definitely want both steering end links for sure. But other than that, I'm still not 100% sure what else I need. So currently the goal is to get everything torn down so we can get a full scope of what the frame damage looks like. So it's going to be taking the hood off, the fender, and kind of anything else around it. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that, and then we'll see what it looks like after that. Alrighty, I think this thing is finally cleaned up, back to pretty much where it was. So you can see everything is grinded down. All of the spots where there was epoxy, there is now no longer. And I didn't bother cutting this part away because it's going to be chopped off anyway. But yeah, besides that, everything else is all ready to either just get some black paint on it, or if I'm going to put that piece back on, that part I'm still undecided with. But yeah, the garage is back and cleaned up again, and it doesn't look terribly dusty. That stuff was super messy though to grind down. You can see I think my face is pretty white from the dust. But now I'm kind of undecided with what I'm going to do. I might just take it to the body shop like this. I'm not sure, because I kind of want to get their opinion on what to do with it, because I'm not 100% sure how I want to proceed. Just looking at it a bit more, you can see where the subframe attaches to the frame rail is kind of right behind where the damage is. So I think realistically it just has to go to the body shop so that they can measure and see what's going on exactly. So then that way we can come up with a game plan on how this thing's going to get fixed. And again, like, I'm not looking for perfection in the frame rail or anything. I just want to make sure all my suspension parts are straight, so that way when I'm tracking the car, it's going to be how it should be. Yeah, so I'm gonna take some time and I'll think about it, because today's a Saturday. So I'll probably bring it in Monday or Tuesday so that they can look at it, and I guess we'll see what they say. Alright, hello there. So I brought the car to the body shop, and we kind of came up with a plan on the best way to repair this. So I'm going to have them do all of the structural related repairs, as they have a frame machine that can measure everything electronically. So I don't want to try and mess that up and not have things be how they should. So we concluded this piece here is in a little bit, which is why our tire here was out, because this goes in, which forces this out. So anyway, so what the plan is we are going to pull on the frame. This is going to go on the frame bench. We're going to pull here put a hook in here and pull out this way, and kind of do as much pulling as we can to straighten out the frame the best that we can. And then once that's done, we are going to cut the frame rail somewhere around here and somewhere around here, and replace this section of the frame rail with a new section off of another car. The plan is to do that, and then once that's done, and the new piece is welded on, then we can do a electronic measurement and make sure that everything is all good and everything is within spec and how it should be. And then after that, I can get a rebuilt title for this, and then I can actually street drive it. So I brought it back because I need to wait for the part to come in, and in the meantime I'm going to tear down all of this stuff and get it ready for the body shop. So since that we are going to be cutting off about here, we're going to need access to weld the new piece on this side in here. So luckily this is far enough forward that it doesn't involve pulling the engine, because if the damage was, say, back to here, if we had to cut, the engine would have to come out to be able to weld around it properly. But we got lucky. So AC condenser, rad, and our ABS distribution block, I believe, is all going to have to come out. But that should give us enough room to weld. Actually, we might not even need to take off the ABS module. We might just be able to get away with the rad and the condenser. So I think I'm going to pull those off now. And oh, and then also this skid bar thing also needs to come off. And then since that our front subframe bolt is here, we haven't figured out, actually, yeah, we are probably gonna have to cut here, which would involve, I guess, just unbolting the subframe nut. I think that's all that we would have to do, and then we can put the new piece on, bolt it in, and then that should locate us properly for the welt. So I think that is the plan. So I'm just going to get to work and tear down the rest of this. Alrighty, so the radiator's out, the AC condenser is out, and you can see how much room there really is in front of this engine here. You can see how much of the frame rail is now exposed all the way around, so there's lots of room to weld. Now, whether or not I'm going to unbolt this ABS block or not, that part I'm still undecided on. I may just be able to unbolt it and kind of move it out of the way enough that we can get in there and weld everywhere. So I think that's going to be my next plan of attack, is removing that. Alrighty, so we got this ABS module unbolted and kind of moved over as much as it can be, which isn't very much because these brake lines are now hitting on our serpentine belt. And I don't want to unbolt this yet because then all the brake fluid is going to leak out and then my brakes won't work, which is fine once it's at the body shop on the alignment or on the frame bench. Then if that does need to be removed, then it can be removed at that time. But I just need to load it up onto the trailer so that I can bring it there. And to do that, I would like to have brakes. Alright, so I think everything's pretty much torn down on the Corvette with what we can do before it does get to the body shop. Like I said, we might need to remove the ABS module, but we don't really know that until we get it there. And as for other things that need to happen before it can get to the body shop, one, I need to source a frame rail. And living in Canada, that might be a little bit hard to find international shipping. So I need to wait till that can come in, and then as soon as that comes in, then it can go to the body shop.